Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Before I start, I definitely would like to thank you all. In my last video, I had requested you all to subscribe to my channel, and I was surprised and so happy to see my subscription increase. So, thank you so much. You all just made my day. Thank you very much, and I appreciate this loyalty and honoring my request. And yes, I'm going to make more contents and you know enable you to see your possibilities. Try to be the inspiration if I can, and yeah. So let's get started. Well, so today, I was thinking that I must talk about this topic. And the topic is judgment as the limiting factor. Very often we judge people. We keep on judging, right, without even consciously being aware of it. I'm a coach, so I hold space where I don't judge people for anything. But yet, if I dive deeper into my being, I there are moments when I judge. Um, Sometimes I do it unconsciously, and many times I catch myself doing that. And many times, of course, I try to not judge, but there's nothing wrong in doing that. But the fact is, if you make that as the focal point of your decision making ability, or if you make that as a conclusion, then you'll definitely not see the truth and you'll lose out on many things. So, let me give you an example. Well, do you see I had a haircut today? So, what happened is I booked a kind of hairstylist from Urban Clap. And I read about him in the app, and he was pretty experienced, good. And very often I intuitively say yes to many things. So I booked an appointment with him, and he came to our house today. The moment I opened the door, I was like taken aback. And I found myself judging. I was like, is he the one who is going to cut my hair? So I'm being very frank and honest with you all. So suddenly, and this is what I caught myself doing. Many times we do it without even being aware of it. But I caught myself like asking me, how can he cut my hair when he doesn't have a great, like, he didn't present himself very well, um, look wise, shabbily dressed, and all of that. And I was like, how is he going to cut my hair? So the sudden thing which fogged me was this thought. And I caught myself. Had it been the earlier Priyanka, I would have by now used that judgment as a tool to conclude that he's someone who cannot cut my hair, and would have created some scenarios unconsciously, and would have made my decision to be true. But this time, I caught myself and I told one thing to myself, that I am willing to see the truth, experience the truth, because the truth is going to correct all the errors of my mind. And I told myself that, hey, Priyanka, you're judging. I know you're judging based on whatever perception you hold about a hairstylist, but then what if you just be open and see where this goes, right? And you won't believe, of course, he did a great job. And not only did he a great job, I felt so connected to him. I spoke to him. He spoke about a lot of things. He has worked with so many amazing clients. He told me about his background, all of that. And that's when I realized, oh my God, I was about to conclude about somebody and about their talent, about their experience, based on what my mind perceived something to be true. And based on that past data, I wanted to conclude. And I would have lost an opportunity of really getting the service from an expert like him. And also, not only that, knowing him and then having this connection in that small period of time. This is a very small example I gave you of a hairstylist, and which had really like you might think that okay, that is like a very small example, but you know what, when you catch yourself doing the small things, you can then catch yourself doing the bigger things. What if you are a hiring manager and you are also having that judgment as you see a candidate? In fact, I asked myself this question, that where, when, how did I land up in this judgment space? Because I thought myself to be someone who do not judge people for anything. Like I don't judge people by the way they look, by the way they wear clothes, by the way they talk, by the way whatever they do. But unconsciously I do, and I caught myself doing that. And I was thinking, like, how and where did I get this from? The thing that came to my mind is this, like, when we work in the corporate, we wear these formal attires. And I still remember one conversation when I was having, when there was this formal and informal dress thing happening. And one of the stakeholders was saying that, we cannot have people wearing informal dresses in an environment like this, because then the decorum and the sanctity of the place will be spoiled. That time, probably I too was influenced by such kind of a thing, and so I believed it, if not totally, but agreed to his points. But now when I look back, I think that, we will only judge people when we haven't owned that side in us. Meaning, you can do an example. I learned this from one of the spiritual gurus, where if you want to know, like, what is this judgment all about talking to you, you should do this exercise. And it's a beautiful exercise, which is known as the judgment exercise. Take a piece of paper and jot down, let's say, pick up a name of a person who you have all judgments about. Like, I don't like, let's say, how she wears a dress. I don't like how she talks. I don't like how she is vocal. All these things, if you jot down. And on the other side, if you jot down those things which this person you think will have a judgment about you because of who you are. Let's say you are very conservative, so the person might have something to talk about your conservations. So, making a column like that. And the other column could be like, what is this judgment? If you like kind of take a slight slice of this and include in your life, how would your life look like? Let's say if you are too conservative, and if you say, if you would like to little bit become less conservative, how would your life be different than how it is? So if you can make a column like that, and then similarly from the second column, if you can make a column like this on the other side, and then look at it, like how you have projected what you haven't owned in you. So if you want to maintain a personality or a persona of someone who is very strict, probably you don't have fun with people, or probably you wear a particular dress which is known as the power dressing. And then how that is affecting your life. So you might be in the extreme continuum of being someone who is very powerful, who is very strict, who is very professional. And so that other side in you, like that childlike innocence, that that fun loving side, probably you haven't given flame to it, you have suppressed it. What if, and that's why probably you don't like that side when you see it in others, what if you kind of use a little bit of that as a hint to bring out that aspect in you in different forms, and see if you can have a balance of not being the extreme end of being too strict or too childish. But what if you come to a midpoint and then bring both of that aspects, which is actually known as integration, and sort of um, you know bringing different aspects in you and kind of bringing them together so that you become whole, complete. And then that aspect which you have suppressed, rejected, disowned, you kind of acknowledge it. And that's when the healing starts, right? What if you do that, and then you will see that there would be shift in your being, the way you see life, the way you see people, the way you see yourself, anymore, and many more things. So there's a very small example, but I thought that it might be helpful for you all. And I gave this example of the hairstylist to make you aware that even though you think that you don't judge, probably you do. And catching yourself in that moment is the key. And you may also look at how you might be connecting with people and judging them, and based on that, probably you might be thinking, you might be relating with a fixed meaning that you have about that judgment, and then concluding about that person. You're losing out on a greater opportunity of really getting to know that person, who he or she is truly. And so, judgment, of course, is a limiting factor. And what if we catch ourselves every time we judge, and then not let that be the criteria to make the decisions and conclusions about people and also about us, but be open and curious generally to get to know people. Well, that's it I have for today. And if you like what I do, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Until next, take care. Love you all. Bye bye. Deep bow.